Welcome to This Explainer. Today we are diving into something absolutely wild, a bold vision from 2026. We're unpacking Mark Zuckerberg's essay, The Future is for Everyone. We're going to break down Meta's exact roadmap for handling the imminent arrival of artificial superintelligence, and more importantly, what this massive technological shift means directly for you.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with who actually controls superintelligence, move right into the balance of power, explore the new economy and infrastructure, dive into security and global leadership, and finally look at redefining AI alignment. Let's get into it.
Section 1. Who controls superintelligence?
Right off the bat, the fundamental question of our era is this. When AI operates way beyond human capacity, who actually gets the keys? I mean, will this incredible power be locked down, highly centralized and restricted to a few elite institutions? Or is it going to be an open, universally accessible tool designed to empower literally everyone?
Okay, let's dive into this huge paradigm shift. The conventional fear is basically that AI is so inherently dangerous, we absolutely must concentrate power to keep it safe. But as history shows us, hoping an absolute power will just act benevolently, well, it rarely ends well, right? So the proposed alternative here is to distribute AI widely. Putting this tech directly into everyday people's hands so they can pursue their own aspirations, that might actually be the truest source of both prosperity and safety.
Moving on to Section 2, the balance of power.
Now, we aren't just talking about your basic chatbots here. We are talking about having 24/7 private agents managing your daily life. Imagine an 8-year-old coding and designing a robot in a single evening, or having a personalized tutor with a PhD in every conceivable subject. Open-source biological models are already helping scientists discover life-saving drugs faster than ever before. This is entirely about elevating human potential across the board.
Let's look at a quick thought experiment. Imagine if only one person in the entire world had a super-intelligent AI lawyer. They'd have an incredibly unfair advantage, leading to a drastically worse society, right? But what if everyone has an AI lawyer? Suddenly, the playing field levels out. Justice becomes far more fair and efficient than it is today. And this exact same logic applies to cybersecurity, market dynamics, and pretty much society at large.
So the crucial point here is that true safety isn't going to magically come from one centralized, benevolent superintelligence. It's organic. It happens when empowered individuals and institutions naturally interact, compete, and basically check each other's power. It's exactly like a healthy functioning democracy.
All right, Section 3, Economy and Infrastructure.
When it comes to the economy, obviously there's a lot of fear out there about widespread job displacement. But the essay pushes back hard against this assumption of mass automation. Instead, it argues that superintelligence will primarily be an engine for invention. By creating entirely new cures, new industries, even new art forms, this wave of invention is expected to completely outpace simple automation, which ultimately drives massive economic and job growth.
To put that into perspective, think about this. Right before the Industrial Revolution, 90% of people were farmers just trying to survive. Massive technological leaps don't end human purpose, they unburden us. AI could be our next great unburdening, freeing humanity up to build culture, solve insane complex problems, and launch businesses we literally can't even dream of today. But getting to this future requires a massive physical footprint. We're talking huge data centers and power grids. To succeed sustainably, this build-out has to give back through what they call community compacts. This means generating high-paying local jobs, pouring tax revenue directly into local schools and fire departments, training skilled tradespeople, and definitely ensuring local energy prices stay low.
Here's a pretty stark example of that community commitment. There's a stated goal to restore 200% of the water used by data centers in highly stressed areas by the year 2030. It's really about building durable, sustainable community assets and being a real partner, not just some corporate speculator.
That brings us to Section 4, Security and Global Leadership.
When it comes to cybersecurity, restricting AI capabilities is seen as a super dangerous path that leads directly to a total lack of checks and balances. The alternative? Widely deployed open-source systems. Think about it. When a massive global community can instantly spot and patch vulnerabilities, you organically create a far more secure environment than any closed, centralized system ever could. So how do we actually balance national security with this open access? Well, proactive collaboration. Instead of waiting for a model to be fully finished, the idea is that the US government gets early access to intermediate models while they're still training, along with dedicated tech staff.
This gives the government a crucial head start to harden critical infrastructure without having to delay public access to the tech.
On the global geopolitical chessboard, even a 2-month lead in AI is absolutely massive. To make sure the US and its allies maintain their edge, several moves are critical here. Fast-tracking physical infrastructure, keeping strict silicon export controls on foreign rivals, cutting the bureaucratic red tape on American model releases, and updating data policies so American open source remains the absolute gold standard globally.
And finally, Section 5, redefining AI alignment. Today, a lot of tech labs treat alignment super defensively. They're basically trying to enforce a single corporate dogma across an AI model. But this philosophy flips that entirely on its head. True alignment shouldn't be about conforming to some centralized standard. It has to be about helping diverse individuals pursue their own radically different goals. Essentially, align the AI to you, not the corporation.
Now, what about that classic sci-fi fear of AI recursively self-improving and just taking over the world? Well, the pragmatic solution here is sheer numbers. As long as the vast majority of the world's AI compute is being actively directed by billions of humans to solve human problems, humanity retains the balance of power. This naturally suppresses the threat of a singular, rogue superintelligence.
So what does this whole philosophy actually look like in practice? Well, for Meta, it translates into some very concrete commitments. We're talking keeping the tech maximally available for free or at least very affordably, guaranteeing a fully private mode where your data is invisible, heavily backing open source, and crucially, handing the power to approve safety criteria over to an independent board. That removes that massive authority from the CEO.
I want to leave you with a quick question to ponder as we step into this wild new era. If the immense power of superintelligence is distributed directly into your hands, how will it shape your future, your work, and your absolute potential? Thank you so much for joining this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and as always, keep looking forward.